Hello, everyone. This is Felicia Bender, the Practical Numerologist. We're coming at you end of year, right? It is December's forecast. So I am just going to say up front that this is based on your personal year number in numerology. It's not based on your life path number. So if you're new to numerology, or if you're just not sure what your personal year might be, I ask you to please take a quick moment, go over to FeliciaBender.com, click on monthly forecast. There is a calculator there that will calculate your personal year number for you, and then you can make sure that you are listening to the correct forecast. There's also a very quick, very easy manual calculation below in the description box if you'd like to just take a look at that, do it manually. So otherwise, we are moving into December, and this is your forecast for the month of December 2023. For the 2 personal year or for the 11-2 personal year. I hope you've been able to understand which one is applicable to you in 2023, because here we are, we're at the end. So we're going to talk about wrapping it up. So I'm starting this out more as a reflection. All right. So December for you is a 5 personal month. So it is a 5. And we're going to talk about what that brings to the table in just a second. But first of all, I would like to ask you to just, I don't know, sit back, take a second. And I don't know if you want to shut your eyes, you can. You don't have to. But I'm just saying, take a moment really to acknowledge everything that you have experienced in your 2 or your 11-2 personal year this year. Hopefully, you're at this point in this year where you're feeling that you've been able to create more intimacy in your life, more emotional connection, both with yourself, first of all, first and foremost, and then with others in your circle. I was going to say concentric circle, but I don't know that really is the right wording. So in your circle, in your intimate circle, your friendship circle, your collegial circle, all right? What has been your personal takeaway for this year? We've been talking all year long about it's a patience building time, right? A relationship oriented time. I would ask you if you have felt dramatic internal, if not external shifts in the past several weeks or so, because December is guided by that freedom seeking number 5. This is a month where you deliberate about freedom. And what does freedom mean to you? What does it look like? What does it feel like as you continue to build on what you have set in motion during these past 12 months? So it's been a somewhat arduous, maybe emotional, definitely patience building year. It depends on who you are, right? What your other aspects are in your numerology chart to get a framework around that. If you're a type A person, more or less type A, if you're a doer, a go-getter, the 2 personal year can be a little bit rough, right? And yet, if you have 2s in your chart, if you're more aligned with that energy, this is where you feel really in flow, really at home, really supported. So it depends on who you are as you navigate your way through the energy of each personal year. And for you, this one just happened to be that patience building one, right? And relationship building energy. So there is a different direction that has your name on it, okay? Because December is your breakout month, baby. So you get a free pass to tap into some lighter energy that will hopefully act as a foundation for your upcoming year. So the holidays really are a perfect excuse, if you want to call it that, to socialize, to enjoy all the season has to offer, to take a few breaks, to get out there and just, I don't know, shake off the cobwebs, right? A little bubbly, a little mistletoe, some get-togethers, some activities, all of those things are really at the ready for you in December. And yet it really isn't all about the party per se. It's about checking in with yourself, appreciating all that you have processed this year, and how, if you've really been working it, you feel a real sense of agency. You feel a real sense of connectedness with people, and kind of that loving, warm feeling. So December is a perfect time to really hold that and to appreciate it and enjoy it. So understand that you can bring in some of that patience that you've developed all year long and make it work in your best interest now and beyond, right? And yet also the holidays might offer a few little testers that'll be thrown your way. And yet, again, you've developed that sense of yourself with any good grace this year. It's time to get out there and network. You've been attempting to do that hopefully all year long as well. And yet this is a real kind of mover shaker month for you, where you could get some significant change makers coming into your life. So it's not really all about what you know, right? As who you know. We know that cliche, and yet it really is true. So I would just say, not in a Machiavellian sort of way, and yet use the holidays to enjoy yourself, and also use it as a networking opportunity, not in a sleazy sort of way, right? And yet in an authentic way, to really get yourself out there, especially if you're working on a project, if you're looking for a new job, if you, I don't know, anything like that. I had a good friend one time who always said, you don't ask, you don't get. So I would make that your mantra for December. Bring it up. Ask for, hey, I'm looking for another job. Oh, I'm looking for new clients. I'm looking for a studio space. Anything like that will really be supported in December for you. I would just say that it's really time to kind of relax into your revised social circle. And I would also ask you if love has been on the horizon lately. The 2 personal year is set up as that relationship-centered time. So often it is a time where we call in the one, we create a new intimate partnership if we've been single and ready to hop into that foray, right? If you're already with someone, sometimes it's a time where that relationship makes an exit. And sometimes it's a time where it up levels, right? It's very similar to the 6th personal year in this way, that it's more about bolstering, enlivening, enriching, and up leveling your relationship life. So if you have been open to that, hopefully you've maybe attracted that special someone, and this is a month to maybe take it to a different level, take it out of the friend zone and into a relationship zone, or take it from, I don't know, from dating partners to exclusivity, something of that nature. Maybe you get engaged, maybe put a ring on it, that sort of thing. So relationships can be a centerpiece to December for you. It really is a great time also to travel and just live a little. The 5 energy brings that adventurousness, that vivaciousness, that wanting to get out of the beaten track. It really has the potential this month to usher in some kind of substantial change in your life. So the 5 is always a change maker. It is bringing in a sometimes a storm of change, and sometimes just subtle changes that will really, really move the needle. So as you leave your 2 or that 11-2 personal year and enter into the 3 personal year next year in 2024, I would ask you to take some time to consider what really, I don't know, what unfolded for you. What was your focus point for this of development for this year? What did you focus on? What were your overarching intentions? Did you renew that intimate relationship, or maybe you found one that holds some promise for the future? Did you help others out? Did you extend yourself to understand people in your world on a deeper level? Again, developing that patience, that ability to listen, and the development of healthy boundaries boundaries. That is a huge one for the 2 personal year. Maybe you even got therapy, joined a book club, joined a hiking group. I mean, it's all about the community, right? And being involved with a community of choice. So maybe you're working on a real overhaul about how you engage with other people in that love department. So perhaps you carried a few things over from your 1 personal year that kept you focused more on work, more on career. So sometimes that'll be what happens in a 2 personal year, even though it's usually a hurry up and wait situation. So many numerologists will say that the 2 personal year is all about quiet waiting. And I would just say, as a reflective tool, does that sound about right about now? So part of the energies and the lesson of the number 2 and your 2 personal year in extension to that is about learning how not to be taken advantage of by others. Many numerologists will say that the 2 is learning how not to be a doormat. I think that, I don't know, it just always sounds a little gruff. So I kind of like to reposition that and say, you're just learning healthy boundaries. You're learning that you count. You're learning that you can have an opinion. You're learning all about, again, healthy emotional, psychic, energetic boundaries. So understand that not everyone, right, operates with that, doormat status that we're talking about. Yet most of us have some kind of level of doormatability, right? Some way in which we don't feel we empower ourselves in our lives, some ways that we don't feel we stand up for ourselves or speak up for ourselves. And it's something that we're really diligently working on if we're in the game, right? And here you are, you're listening to a numerology forecast. So I'm thinking you're working very diligently at evolving your consciousness, right? Understanding yourself in a very real, very different sort of way. So you can also take that flip side of the 2 energy. And if so, this year maybe has been a time where you've been asked to soften. Maybe you're a little aggressive. Maybe you're a little much too into yourself and what you want and need all the time, and not taking others into consideration. If that's the case, the 2 is asking you, begging you to soften into that, slow down, to actually take others into consideration and become more diplomatic and loving in your engagements with others and with your engagement overall, with life. You're being asked not to become I don't know, I'm going to use a silly example maybe, but maybe after the 2 personal year, you won't fly into road rage anymore when someone cuts you off in traffic. You'll suddenly go, hey, let's just let the guy through. Who cares? It's all attitude, right? So it's taking that stance of, gunning it and flipping them off and yelling and screaming and it ruining your day. To, hey, sometimes I'm in the wrong lane too, and I need to get over. So I'm not in a hurry. It's going to get me to my destination maybe 1 minute after I would have. I don't know. So you know what I'm saying? It's just a time to develop that sense of perspective. The 2 is always asking us to soften, always asking us to seek others' points of view, and encouraging us to listen a little bit more than charge ahead with our own agenda. So it's kind of like, listen twice and talk once. I don't know if that's a good analogy, but I used it anyway. I just made it up. So you're also entering a year where you'll bring in the emotions-based development that you've been working on and take it up a notch, right? Integrate it into who you are in the here and now, because the energy of the 3 personal year, and that is what you're headed into in 2024, is offering opportunities to gain some knowledge, if not mastery, over your emotional self-expression. And sometimes that feels great, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it challenges us across the board about how we express ourselves. So the 2 personal year really gets the emotions up to the surface, and then the 3 personal year takes that ball and runs with it and asks you to refine that, define that, and use it creatively. Okay, so I'll also mention that, again, that similarity between the 2 and the 3 is emotional sensitivity, and it's coming to terms with expressing your wants and needs directly, and yet in a combative manner. So this upcoming year can be a lighter time for you. It can test you in clarifying the way you communicate or the way you don't communicate, right? Oftentimes that's the case. So as this year comes to a close, with any good grace, you will feel that certain aspects of your life have had the time to settle in and to develop in a slow and rich way. December can bring the perfect alchemy, that perfect jolt of energy to bridge you into your year of self-improvement and unbridled creativity. The 5-month that you're in right now in December offers you every opportunity also to face your fears and also to be open to a few plot twists, a few changes in direction. The 5 always shows up as a fun energy and an energy of change. All right, so that is your forecast for the end of the year. And what I also want to mention is that I am regrouping, reprioritizing, doing some things differently within my numerology business. And this is going to be the last forecast that I'm going to be doing on YouTube. I will not be doing these monthlies anymore. I might be doing some other segments, some other series, some other things on YouTube. I'm kind of in the planning stage of that. And yet I've just had to prioritize certain things. So I would say that if you still want to engage in your forecast, you can still go to FeliciaBender.com and you can read it there. It will still be there in writing. It just won't be on YouTube. So again, I hope that you have a wonderful end of your year. And thank you for watching here. And I hope that you'll come back and we'll get some other numerology-based videos going for you. All right. Have a wonderful holiday and a very, very, very happy new year.